guys and girls, Super X here. Today, I know I look kind of like a member of the Scuderia Ferrari team. I just went out and hooked myself up with a new killer Ferrari jacket. Season's what, a month or so away. You know who I'm pulling for, Katie, Seb. That's not why I'm here, is to review my jacket or my old hat. It's to review this. I'll give you my take on it. I'm not a reviewer, I'm just a doer. SVA Penguin. Just got it on Monday. Pretty rare mod. Very pleased to have it. Take a rip off it for you. Light it up. It's right now rolling in at 25 watts. I put a dual coil in it. And this is kind of an idea of what the combo does for me. Squonker mod. It's made in Italy by SVA Mods. You can see it there on the back. It's that penguin like off the chain or what. And the cool thing is, the funny thing is, it's not really funny, it's just the facts. Yeah, the mods that I get, I get them because I like them. I'm not a reviewer that people send me stuff and here's this iStick and here's this. I buy my mods to vape, and I make movies about them. So I definitely don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, because people ask me sometimes if I can like review other gear, what my opinion is on this, but I don't really know, because I don't buy gear just to review it. I typically refuse offers of people sending me stuff to review if people want to send me stuff, because if I'm not interested in it, there's really no need for me to have it. Does that make sense? I'm a Squonker, 100% Squonker. Well, I'm going to reduce that down to probably about, what, maybe 85% now, because I did have that Moonraker from Sunbox, and again, that's not a Squonk mod, it's a tank mod, but it's very unique, and it is by a company that I really like their product, so I will use that. I've got one coming, I actually bought one. But I'm not getting these mods. People aren't going, here, review my mod. I get those offers, but I don't take them if it's something like, I don't know the name of this, what, VTC4, I have no idea. That's a battery name. I'm not a reviewer. I'm a guy that acquires gear for my own personal use, and I vape it, and I make movies out of it. So I wish I had the time in my life or the desire to like review every atomizer, every mod, but I don't. There's no money in that. Money's over here working on my computer. That's how I get paid. I have a job. So this is something I do as a hobby. So this just came. So I think it's time we really look at this mod, because until we look at it and go through it, it's going to be hard to understand, because I have another penguin too. I have a blue one. A little quick side-by-side. We'll do a little more side-by-side action up under the camera. But this one in and of itself is, it's a thing of beauty. Unfortunately, again, like a lot of the stuff I've been getting lately, pretty much all the stuff that I had other than Rio Grandes is not the easiest stuff to get. It's not. Let's face it, I'm not out to like outdo anybody and out collect, but I see stuff that I like and I try my best to acquire it. So I think my channel is probably not for everybody, for sure. But I will be looking at that Rio P67. I'm very anxious to get it. That is going to be a slick mech. That mech like ticks all my boxes, so I can't wait. I know I'm going to be getting one of those. You're going to see it here on camera. But why I'm doing this is on this little bad boy. And let's do that again. How killer this mod. We'll go through how well it produces and what it. We'll look at all that. The specs. We'll look at it in extreme detail. Okay. So this is a regulated DNA 40 Squonker made by SVA Mods. There's their penguin. This is a penguin. This is from the latest batch of penguins. This mod in itself is constructed of a Delrin frame with carbon fiber for the door panel, the faceplate, and there's an inlay of carbon fiber in the back. Just a quick show you that it is not like a modular frame. That carbon fiber is an inlay, so you have a solid back. Let's look at some of the detail on this mod. You've got a stainless steel fire button, stainless steel cup with a stainless adjustable reverse threaded contact pin in there, and it is adjustable with a hex key that comes with the mod. It ships with the hex key, and you just turn it, and it's reverse threaded, which I'm a big fan of reverse threaded contact pins. So that's where your juice feeds through, and that's what makes contact to your atomizer. There's different size cups that go on that. The O-ring is in there. It comes with a spare O-ring, and it comes with the cups. We'll go through everything that it comes with in a minute. I run it with a 22mm cup. But I want to kind of show you, if you look at this, the mod, the level of craftsmanship, if you will. I mean, this is a extremely flat and smooth. And I mean, this one, I have another Penguin too, and we'll look at it, and it feels awesome. I mean, it's very similar, and the biggest difference I see from the outside of it is that this one has a flush adjusting button, whereas the new Penguin, or this white Penguin, has a stainless and it protrudes a little bit, and this one's flush. They both work awesome. From the front, they both look very similar. The biggest difference you're going to see is in the backs, okay, with the carbon fiber inlay. But yeah, that's one thing I noticed about these mods. It's just the tight seams and fit. And in my opinion, I have some other Delrin mods that are awesome, but what kicks them to another level is a carbon fiber door or front panel here, and a carbon fiber faceplate. It should almost be mandatory, like a standard of anybody. This one on the back is cool, but that's one thing or the other. I do love it. I would think any mod maker that's making a Delrin mod, it's just the material is so translucent that seeing wiring and stuff, and this has a tendency to bow right here. If it's made of Delrin, this little plate just tends to give a slight bow. Not the end of the world, but in this price range that these mods wind up costing, I think the carbon fiber on a door is mandatory, and I'm a big fan of black carbon fiber. So just looking at that from all different angles and seeing that the fit and finish, to coin an automotive term, is there's no seams, no everything about it is just, it's a very well fit. You don't feel any rough edges whatsoever. Any place on the mod, everything is smooth, extremely well machined and well put together mod. The size of this mod, it is 1 3/4 inches in this dimension, 1 3/4 inches, or 47 millimeters. The height of the mod, top to bottom, height of the mod is 1 7. Oh, let's see here. I said it was 47 millimeters, or 1 7/8 inches on this dimension. It's 25 millimeters, or 1 inch in this dimension. It's 1 inch. It's slightly wider than the Blue Penguin, by I want to say a millimeter or two. So then you've got 85 millimeters tall, which is 3 3/8. So to go through that again, 47 by 25 this way by 85 this way, slightly taller than a Penguin as well, and just than the Blue Penguin, and just slightly wider, about 3 3/8 inches tall versus 3 1/4. Almost identical. I mean, if you look at the two mods, the only thing you really notice initially is the height. And the added height, I mean, these mods are small. They're small mods. I mean, these are very small mods. Let's put one again. Let's put it like next to a Rio Grande. Okay, you can see that they're small. They're not big. I guess you could say that. But the two, when you look at them at first glance, and if you just held them in hand, you would probably think they're exactly the same size. But as you can see, the white is a few millimeters, couple of millimeters taller. Okay, and I like that, and I'll tell you why I like it. when we get into the inside of it. The weight of this mod in grams is 86.5 grams, or 3.05 ounces. Again, extremely lightweight mod. Very light. That's what I like about the Delrin and the carbon fiber, and the feel and hand of it is it's pretty amazing. So let's go to the access to the juice bottle and the battery. It's through this carbon fiber panel. Notice how the door is attached with a magnet here, here, and here, and corresponding interfaces inside the mod for the magnets. You've got a magnet connection here, here, and on your battery. This one that's on the door here actually sticks to your battery. It's pretty cool. Okay, so the juice, this being a juice feed mod, it attaches up here. We'll do a little tightness on this on the 510 assembly. The wiring is pretty crisp on there too, is it not? Pretty crisp. You've got a copper positive contact, and this wiring is it's like a bare conductor. It doesn't have a casing or a sheath on it. You can see how it comes very cleanly out of here. The board is back in this area here. And we'll look at the negative area of the mod again, copper with a spring. There you see the magnet, and again, look at the wire routing. Very nice. Very well done. I'm impressed with the conductivity and the performance of this mod. Both of my penguins perform well, extremely well. So again, the board, the chipset is all in the faceplate here. Let me pan out just a little bit. My O-ring came off, which is cool. I wanted to demonstrate that later. All the board and the chipset is in here in the front of the mod with your controls here, which I'm a liker of the front of the mod chipset location because it's less susceptible if you were to have any kind of like major meltdowns inside your mod in the way of juice. I think that it being in the front make it less susceptible for any migration of any juice getting to it. I don't have any problems personally, but I just tend to like that location quite a bit better. DNA 40 small screen. Let's put a battery in it so we can show you the display. Very well centered in there. DNA 40 is temp control, 40 watts, reverse polarity protection, and adjustable for stealth, left-right mode. Temp control here. 5 clicks to lock it, 5 clicks to unlock it, all that kind of good stuff. So it does run on a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. So anything that takes that kind of a battery, I would consider it to be for an advanced vapor, or somebody that understands and knows what can happen with bad lithium-ion batteries, cheap ones from China that say 40 watts on them that are really, or 40 amps that are really 10 amps. Know your battery, learn Ohm's law, get to know about that stuff, get to be an advanced vapor before you start to delve into this stuff, or at least educate yourself pretty well. So there's the back side and the front side of the door, nice robust. It's probably at least 2 millimeters thick. Why don't we measure that? Why don't we not at least anything? Let's put a little, I don't have calipers. I'm not that fancy, but guys, this is my hobby. Again, not my life. So I don't have all these fancy tools. This thing is just about, heck, it's like 3 millimeters thick. The door plate, the panel. I mean, you'll feel it. This mod is It's robust. For a Delrin mod, which I'm all about Delrin now. I love the lightness of it. I love that it doesn't get cold or hot. It's just a very nice feeling in hand. Okay, so this does run on an 18650. And it's very easy. That's where I was telling you the added height. This mod is a couple of millimeters, a few millimeters taller than the Blue Penguin. The added height and that soft spring make putting in the battery easier, in my opinion. Slightly easier, that little bit. I mean, it's not that it's hard on the Penguin. I'll take you through it. But it's a little tighter fit on the Blue Penguin. On this, it's a little looser fit. On this one, it's a slightly tighter fit. So I wind up just giving it a little tap like so to access the battery. But again, the difference in height to the average eye, if you didn't have both of them side by side, you would never notice that there is about that much difference in height. You'd never. It's basically imperceivable to the eye. Okay. The Blue Penguin door has 2 magnets on it, so it doesn't make it to where you'll mess them up. Mix them up. And I think the White Penguin door, yes, it is a slight bit thicker. Got the White Penguin door on the right, Blue Penguin door on the left. Slightly thicker on the White Penguin than it is on the Slim Blue. But then again, the Blue is the Slim, right? Alright, so you got an easy access, positive up, negative down. Pretty simple. Now, one thing I didn't notice about this mod in my last review, I didn't notice it because I initially started to run Rio Grande bottles. I have a whole bunch of them, but I've subsequently switched over to these Total Tufumo bottles. Because, notice if you will, I didn't notice that. I'm kind of a little slow in my old age. Notice the cutout for the bottle. Okay, it fits in there perfectly. So I just brought that one over to show you because I happen to have the bottle already in, but this is the same thing. So you say to yourself, was the mod designed for the bottles or were the bottles designed for the mod? I think maybe it's a little bit of both, which is pretty cool. So again, these are serialized mods. It says W023 in there. That means it's number 23 in the white series. So I'm using these little bottles. Okay, and I've got 4 of them. 2 came with each mod. Of those 4, 3 of them work flawlessly. Then I've got one that no matter what I do, no matter how I try and do it, it leaks. It just blurps out from right there. So I'm not going to trust that in my mod. And I'm keeping a serious eye on these because I certainly would go to the Rio bottles if I have to. It's no problem. But I like having the 8.5 or whatever. The capacity of these is bigger. They fit in here better because, again, you can see I'll go ahead and plug it in. But it mates up perfectly into this little cutout there. Just the perfect fit. So I'm thinking these bottles could be improved with a little bit more threading on them. They don't have much in the way of threading. So when you've got a mod that's in the $400 range, or any mod, when I'm out, let's just forget about the price. If it's a $20 mod, the last thing I want is juice anywhere around the inside of my mod or on my hands. So especially in a mod that is a regulated mod, juice getting anywhere it's something that we can't deal with. We won't be able to deal with that. So of those 4 bottles, like I said, one of them leaks right here. Now how I refill my bottles is I pre-fill them. So I'll have one sitting over here like this with a little dealio on the top of it. And when it's time to fill it, I just take that off and put it on. It's that simple. Now the other tiny little bummer, it's not a bummer, I'm cool, I'll work around it, is since this one's a little bit taller, so you got to have a little longer hose than from other Penguins. I really can't, I don't swap bottles between this Penguin and the other Penguin. I have to have dedicated bottles, and since the 2 that came with this, one of them broke and one of them doesn't work well, and I'd already trimmed the hose, it kind of sucks. I'm down to 1, but I'm not, trust me, I'm not complaining. I love this mod. This mod came directly from Giacomo at SVA, and I couldn't be happier with it. So I'm just throwing things out there, my little preferences. So hopefully this bottle and the connection here is something that can be improved, because I think the concept of it is perfect. The way it fits in the mod is perfect. Again, because it's juice feed, you'll note down in that hole that when I press the button, press the bottle through the door, juice comes up, and it goes into an atomizer that's bottom fed. Squonking is carried out with the door on the mod, and you simply go like this and juice comes up. Okay, so this one can run on the 8.5 millimeters it's designed for. It can also use the Rio bottles. And when it's time to replace the bottle, I just fish it out of here and slide a new one on with the hose intact. I don't unscrew it in the mod and do the hose thing with it. Okay. So we've got a 510 threaded atomizer interface of stainless steel. It comes with a 22 millimeter cup ring. Here's the bottom of it. And it's made to go on here. This is made to take an O-ring, which it does quite well. A little O-ring goes on there, and whether you're using a 22 or a 14, this being the 22, it's a beautifully machined piece of stainless steel, by the way. As it is, it's the same. These two penguins share the same cup assembly. I have the 14 here. There's no sense in pulling it out because it's another beautifully machined piece. You can see the extra O-ring. I love that they send that in there. Why don't I pull it out? I mean, we're going through all this length. Let's look at it. But I'm not a 14 millimeter kind of guy. Okay. I run. I got two. Did I get two? Yep, two bonus O-rings. Gotta love it when guys send you spares. Here's a 14 millimeter one. Okay. This part right here would go down on your mod. What do we have here? Don't know. I never look at the 14s because I have no desire in using them. Just a little something inside it. So I guess when I look at it, I have to figure out which end goes down on the mod. I'm thinking it is this side. So yeah, so you just screw this on here like so, and this becomes a 14 millimeter catch cup for all you 14 millimeter tootle puffers out there. There you go. Look at that presentation, huh? Don't jank this down. Just tighten it up a little. Snug it up to that O-ring. Okay, it's not meant to be janked onto the mod. Now, I erroneously call this other one a 22 millimeter cup. It takes up to a 22 millimeter, and it also has the ability for a 16 millimeter, I think it is, would fit on there nicely and leave you just a little ring. I think people use things called bog rats, which are all cool. I've never had to use a bog rat because I went from 14 right to 22, and that's it. So again, I don't tighten this thing down much more than boom, right about there. Okay, there you go. It's still squonking away. Works perfectly. Loving the extra O-rings. Loving the adjuster that comes with it. It's a tight package. They send you everything you need, with the exception of a battery, an atomizer, and juice to get you going. So putting your atomizer on is simply, I've got a Meb Mods. This bad boy just came. Number 513. 13's my number. 5 used to be my number back in like the Speed Racer days, and I've come to embrace the date of my birthday as my number. I'm a 13 guy. Okay, it just screws on nice, smooth, threaded 510, and there you are. We're adjusted. We're fired up. We got a check atomizer. What that will mean is that since I've been playing with it, I probably would have to adjust the contact. There you go. This I just turned it because that will turn this down a little and let the atomizer go down a little. All right, but let me show you something I noticed about this mod. This is a dual coil. As you can see, it's just about an ohm. It's 0.99. Let me show you a little bit about the efficiency. We're going to kick this thing up to 40. Now, I don't vape 40 watts. I don't. But these are things that I think it's important to kind of flush out in the mod to see what it can do and what it can't do. So there we have it. It's at 40 watts. We're going to give it a squonk. And when we squonk, what happens is, let me pull this off. I don't want to damage my coils. You have to be kind of careful with that. When we squonk, let's tighten in on this for any new people watching at home. What happens is I press the bottle, the juice comes in, it's picked up by the wick, and it's transported up to the coils. That's happening simultaneously on both sides, as you can see. Again, this is a bottom fed atomizer, so it does that. So I would think that we're safe to say we're nice and wet. No, both sides. So I'm going to put the top back on. Notice anybody that the AFC on an M-Addy, when it's proper, it is not. I mean, you got to take it apart to adjust it. It doesn't turn. To me, I can never turn it. So if you're having problems with your M-Addy, that there's any kind of leaks coming between it, you'll get some O-rings, and everything will be just fine. Alright, so we're going to put this on. Both AFCs wide open. Whether or not that makes a difference, it's really cool. You can actually see the coil right in there. Yes. Anyhow, let's go back to what we were going at. We got 40 watts on the display. Let's fire it. Okay. There you go. And with a 2 ohm coil, it won't get to 40 watts. So that's why I say I can't test it on this one, because this one has got a 2 ohm coil in it, and it kind of tells you that the ohms, the resistance is too high. So at any rate, that's what I have to say about this amazing mod. Yes, everything I make videos about is amazing. Why? Because I buy it. If I like it, I make a video about it, and I keep it, or I might sell it, and that's what I do. An SVA Penguin doesn't come in any special box. You're not paying anything for a box. You're paying for this kick-ass little mod. Okay, light as a feather. The in-hand of it is just sick. Everything about it is off the chain. I mean, it's just this mod, to have this in your collection, it can be your daily driver. I mean, I'm paping the hell out of it, I'll tell you that right now. I really haven't put it down since I got it. I tend to do that, though, in any new mod I get, but I'll be reaching for it quite regularly. I'll rotate through mods. You get it in this little box, so I like that, because I'm not a big gift box guy. I've never been into like, oh wow, look at this box. Hell, I could care less about a box. I'm just showing it to you because some people want to see it. Giacomo threw this little drip tip in as a gift for me. He's a cool dude. Giacomo's cool. So you get this little bag. Again, I don't really use these bags. I'm really showing you guys this for you. And you get this cleaning cloth too. It's like some kind of cleaning cloth, okay? Along with the ever essential adjuster. Along with your spare bonus O-rings for under the catch cup. And the 14 and 22 millimeter cups. They're 14 and 16/22 millimeter cups. Let's get it right. You think by now I'd get it right. I'm starting to learn this stuff. Remember, it was only like a few months ago I was using like killer Rio Grandes, and now I'm tipped into the regulated side, and I'm heavily entrenched in the regulated side of the deal. I like it. Any mod makers too, if you guys could save us some money, save yourself some time, and make mods rather than like decorative freaking wood boxes that are all elaborate. To use that time to make more mods. We want more mods, not boxes. So there's the Killer Blue SVA Penguin right next to the Killer White SVA Penguin right next to the Killer Blue SVA Penguin by SVA Mods.